Okay, hopefully you're still joining me for my quilting. All right, so I didn't think I had done a lot of quilting, but I actually kind of have. Um, and I think most of it was done, I think, last week. So I got a lot done last week. First thing I want to show you is the May block for my Prim quilt. This is by Lori Holt. It was a quilt along that she did, I think, last August, and it went on for 12 weeks, 13 weeks, something like that. And I had bought the kit from Fat Quarter Shop, but I didn't do the quilt along. I just had too many things going, so I started it January 1st, and I'm just doing a block a month, doing the cross stitch, one block on the cross stitch, one block on the quilt. So, and I don't do Lori's method for applique. I just do raw edge applique. So cute. Love it. All right. The next thing I've been working on. Oh, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is this book. So this is the book. I'm not going to talk to you about the book itself. I'm going to talk to you about what I've done. So I've seen other quilters say that they get spiral bound on their quilt books, and they go to like Office Depot or Office Max. Mine is an Office Max, or you can go, I think, to a FedEx store or whatever. Anyway, and get your books bound through spiral bound. So I took two of my quilting books we went to the town that our Office Max is in, and I took two of the books in, and I asked them if they could do this, and they told me yes. I asked them how much, and so I had to do it. 20 minutes they did it. I had it done in 20 minutes. It cost me less than $10 to do two books. So less than $10, two books, and I love it because now I can, when I'm doing a pattern, my books can be flat or I can fold it. And before I had to, because they wouldn't open right, so I had to prop something on this side and something on this side just to hold the book open so I could read it. Anyway, so I want to show you that if you're a quilter, this is so cool. I mean, I'm going to do it to all of my books. And the town that it's in is like 40 minutes away, 30 minutes away. So just when we go down there, that's where Costco is, that's where Hobby Lobby is. So when I go down there we do a Costco run or whatever, I'll just take a couple of books, and every time I go down there and have them do this. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you this. I don't know if I have shown this quilt. And I do want to say, they did put a front cover on it. Actually, he put two clear front covers. There's two covers on here. A clear front cover and then a back cover on it. So anyway, I don't know if I've shown these before. Have I shown this before? I am doing a block of the month with Fat Quarter Shop, and so they send me, I bought the book, and actually, you can't sign up for you can still buy the book, but you can't sign up for the block of the month anymore. But I signed up for this back whenever, I think it started in October. And so I've been getting the fabric, and it tells you in here what months to do what, I don't know where it's at. Anyway, what months to do what blocks right here. So it tells you right here, month 1 we did these blocks, month 2, month 3. Anyway, I am so proud of myself because usually block of the month I have a really hard time staying up on. This one I have stayed on top of it. So I get my fabric, I get my blocks done, and they're done for the month. So anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So I was just going to show you, if I haven't showed you these, let me know, and I will show you in my next video all my blocks that I have done so far. But I was just going to show you the blocks that I did for this month. So there was this block. This is little, 6 inches. Then there was this block. And we had this block. And this block. So these were the blocks that had to be done for May. There we go. So I just am really proud of myself that I am staying on top of this block of the month, because like I said, it's not something that I usually do. All right, the next thing I want to show you is this one. This is a sew along or a quilt along that I am doing with Carly Court Cottage and White House Stitchery on Instagram, and their Flosstube channel is Country Cottage Stitchers. And I chose to do the Summerville. Some people that are doing this are doing the Autumnville one. Some are doing, other ones. It was just pick one of the villages so there's summer, autumn, spring, and winter. So it's just to pick one and do it. So I think before I showed you I had the star blocks, the middle star blocks, and then these 4 corners stars done. So I have got all my houses done now. And I'm just going to quickly go show them to you. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on them. I'm hoping to have this one done by the middle of June. We'll see. That's my goal, is to have this one done by the middle of June. So I did go, mine is patriotic, but it's also very summery. So you do have the fireworks and things like that, but then you do have flowers and just all things summer related. And there are 12 houses. And the houses, this quilt, it looks more complicated than what it really is. It's just a lot of chain piecing. To do these houses, it was really quick. I had them done pretty quickly. A couple of afternoons is what it took me. And that's just afternoons. That's not, if I had spent all day, I could have had them all done in one day. So anyway, there is my Somerville. So, and you can still join this. We have a hashtag. It's called QuiltyvilleQAL on Instagram. So if you'd like to follow us, or if you'd like to join in on us, you're more than welcome, or if you just want to follow us in our progress. All right, the other thing that I have been working on. So what I do was sometimes when I'm doing quilts, I will do a leader and ender quilts. And what leaders and enders are is sometimes when you're sewing fabric through, and you're first starting that first sew on the fabric, your feed dogs will suck the end of the fabric down into it. And so if you have just a piece of fabric that goes through that's called the leader, then it kind of pulls the fabric through so it doesn't get stuck down into your feed dogs. I don't know if that's a good explanation or not. And then the enders are basically the same thing. When you're done sewing sewing something together, then you sew an ender through, and so then that ender becomes a leader when you go to sew again, So anyway, so what I've been doing, and I've been doing this for a while, is I do a leadering enders quilt. And so it's just, so basically when I'm making a quilt, I'm pretty much making two quilts. Well, anyway, so I started this leaders and enders quilt, and the pieces on it. So this is not only a leaders and enders quilt, it's also a bonus project, because I had made a quilt, and I don't know what you call them, but when you like say you make a half square triangle and you have to cut your cut off pieces, cutaway pieces, I guess is what they would be called. I had some big pieces from a quilt, and I couldn't bear to throw them away, because sewing those pieces together, it gave me a half square triangle that was 2.5 inches big. So I figured I could use that for another project, and I had a ton of them. So for the past few months, I've been making this leader and enders quilt. And I hope that makes sense of my explanation of what I explained. So it's just a whole bunch of half square triangles that I made into, I actually did 4 patches. That's how I did them. And it's not perfect. My points are not perfect. Absolutely not perfect. And then I just squared it down to, I think I squared these down to 9 inches. Not sure. I think I squared them to 9 inches. And then I had some fabric left over from the original quilt I made, some yardage left over. So I just took some of that yardage and I made sashing for it. And then I made a border for it using that same fabric line because I had yardage. And then what I'm going to do is I have some red from the same fabric line, and I'm going to bind it with it. So it's not a very big quilt. It is about 44 inches by 44 inches square, I think. Yeah, 44 by 44 inches square. So anyway, I love how it turned out. Total scrappy, because like, I have light, but then some of them have some of the darker neutral fabric in it. So very cute. I love it. I love how it turned out. So, and I don't know if I'm going to send this one off to quilt or if I'm just going to do some straight line quilting on it. I haven't decided yet. I just finished it today. All right, the other thing I want to show you is I have had, okay, so when I did my Quilter's Cottage quilt by Lori Holt, I had gotten my quilt kit from the Fat Quarter Shop. My neighbors are cooking and it smells really good. Anyway, so when I did my Quilter's Cottage quilt, I had fabric left over. So I decided to do one of the other projects she had in the book, and I did a table runner. So in the book, she has it as a bed runner. So you make it and then you put it at the end of your bed. And I think it had like 7 flowers in it. Let's see, no, it had 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it had 7 flowers, and I just did 5 flowers. This was all using the leftover scraps from that Quilter's Cottage quilt kit that I had. I hope you can see it. I think I posted this on Instagram, so if you want a good look at it, go to Instagram. So, and I don't know what I did. I messed up on my borders, but it doesn't matter. And then I backed it with some of her cheater fabric, which was the same fabric that was the backing for the Quilter's Cottage. I had enough left over. And I also did the binding on it with that. And I did the quilting on this myself. I just did a crosshatch straight line quilting on it. And I love it. Love it, love it. So anyway, so because I had my, so anyway, I just want to say I love bonus projects. When I make a quilt and I have leftover fabric, I love making a bonus project like a table runner or a smaller quilt, or something that I can use that leftover fabric. But while I had my walking foot on to do the quilting on this one, I decided I needed to pull out a quilt and bind another quilt, because I have a stack of quilts that need binding on them, and their quilting's all done, but they just need the binding. So I pulled out my prim and proper quilt, and you're not going to be able to see this one all that well, but um, this is my prim and proper quilt. So I went, quilts are so hard to show, I'm just saying. So if you want to look at it, go to my Instagram, because I do post all of my quilts on my Instagram. But I used the rickrack in the binding, and then just the binding. I bought the kit, so I had everything to make it, and then I also bought I bought the backing fabric for it too. So anyway, I love this. I'd never done the rickrack in the binding before, and I love how it turned out. So anyway, go to my Instagram and you can see this quilt all in its full glory. And I had my quilter just do I don't know if you can see that, just a feather quilting on it. It's the same as I had done on my my quilt for my bed. Okay, what's left? All right, so I am working on another leaders and enders quilt, and this is where I'm at so far. So this fabric line, it's an older fabric line. It's called Homestead Life. It's Riley Blake fabric. I bought this, it says it came out in 2019, and I think I bought this last year. And I did do a search on Etsy. You can still find this on Etsy. So you just type in Homestead Life, just search for Homestead Life, Riley Blake fabric, or Homestead Life fabric, and you'll be able to bring this up. I had bought 5 charm packs because I just wanted to do a simple patch quilt. I don't know what they're called, just a square patch quilt. So I bought 5 charm packs, and so I keep them in this basket, and I just mix them all up in here. So when I need a leader, I just pull out 2 of them, sew them together. Same with an ender, pull out 2 of them, and this is how many I have done so far. So it's really pretty. It's just got some yellow check and gray check and green, everything farm. It's really pretty. Some flowers. Anyway, so I wanted to show you that. And I just keep this sitting by my sewing machine and just have them in there and just pull them out as I need them. All right, one other thing I'm going to show you. So I usually don't show haul on my videos, and the reason why is just because when it comes into my house, I like to put it up, and I don't like it sitting around. I don't have a lot of, even though my sewing room does look kind of big, I don't have room for, I don't have room to just have it sitting around. Like if I have it sitting waiting to be shown, then I'm moving it constantly because it's in my way. So I usually, when I get something in, I just put it up. But I got these this week, and I thought, oh, I'll just show them this time on my video. So the first thing I want to show you is I went over to Walmart, and one of their end caps, they had this fabric. These are 1 yard bundles. So each one of these is a yard. And it was less than $5 a yard. It was like $4.94 a yard or something. So one of these bundles was $4.94. So for $35, I got 7 yards of fabric. And I don't know what kind of quilt I'm going to make with it yet. But I couldn't pass that up. And it's so pretty. And yes, it's Walmart. It's from Walmart, but the quality of this fabric is very good. It's nice, and it's a good thick quilting cotton. It's not a thin one. So I wanted to show that. And then I wanted to show this book. It's called Scrap School. And the first time I saw someone do a trunk show out of this book, and it was before the book was even coming out because it just came out this month. I knew I had to have it. There are probably 9 quilts in this book that I would make. And let me show you my absolute favorite is one. This is my most favorite. I love that quilt. Love it. Another one I really like, I like this one. And that, oh, I love it. In fact, I was thinking that maybe I could do this quilt with this fabric. I'm not sure. And then I'm just going to show you a couple more. I love this one. And this was another one I thought maybe I could do with that fabric. So I want to show you So anyway, it's just really, really cute. Cute quilts in here. Look at this one. With an ombre. Gives you the ombre effect. Would be a pretty fall one. One other one I want to show. Love this one. I love that. That's be a pretty red and white quilt. Or you could do blue and white or whatever color. Pretty. So I wanted to show that. Then the other thing I wanted to show is this is called Country Seat Quilts. And this was a quilt. You could do a quilt a month. If you signed up for their program, you could do a quilt a month, and they would send you the stuff to do a quilt. Well, then they decided to take all 12 of those quilts they did and put it into a book. And this is by J.J. Stitches. It's a quilt shop called J.J. Stitches. And very impressed. Their shipping was fast. And anyway. And the one quilt there's a lot of really cute quilts in here. Look at that one. That would be so cute for a fall. Right? And then I love this one. Anyway, but the one that caught my eye from this book was this quilt. See, I need to take this one in and get the spiral put on it. Love this. So I ordered the book, but they also had a kit with the fabric in it. So I bought the kit and the book to make that quilt. Love that. Anyway. All right, that's all I got for you today. That's it. I hopefully will be back next week. That is the plan. um, to show you what I've been working on. And hopefully next video won't be as long. I seriously did not think I would, if I did the video last week, it probably would have been a 10-minute video. And yet now I have all this stuff to show because it's just kind of accumulated, and oh well. So anyway, everybody if you're in the United States, have a happy Memorial Day. Remember the reason why we celebrate Memorial Day. Um, for those who died while serving our country, while in combat. And have a great week, and I will see you back in June. Bye.